Hello, my friends. I am so honored to be here with Buddha Maitreya. You know what? I'm going to kind of let you introduce yourself a little bit, but associated with the Soul Therapy Center here in Omaha. And I know you guys were in our giving guide this past year, but we don't know, we don't know too much about what you do here in Omaha. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about that? And then you've got a tour coming up here that I really want to dive into and have a good conversation about that.
Well, part of my service is that I have food programs that I do all around the world. I mainly do it in Tibet, Nepal, India, places like that encircle monasteries that have been destroyed, and I've rebuilt those monasteries and made it possible for tens of thousands of children to go back into becoming monks and nuns. So that has been a process since I was around 30. But I also feed people in America. Been feeding people in San Diego, throughout California. So in my monastery, we have a place here at your place in Omaha. And from there, we have a Dharma Center. And we go out every single day and feed people that we find on the street that are just in need. And we hand out sandwiches. We make the best sandwiches you could possibly have. They are not scrimped on for value of any kind. They're sandwiches with snacks and nuts and hot coffee and all of that, along with sleeping bags and shoes and clothes and whatever they need to be warm and healthy and live a life. And so I provide all that on a daily basis for anybody in need.
Well, and let me ask you this question. What brought you to Omaha? I mean, why Omaha?
Well, I opened Dharma Centers when I turned 40, and I was working in monastic processes throughout India, Tibet, and Nepal. I came back to America to open a monastery and develop a monastery, which I did. And in that, I had to open Dharma Centers throughout the United States, one in Omaha and many other locations. And so I did that for about 10 years, and getting to know people, help people, bless people, and let them know what is going on. That the reincarnation of Jesus Christ has happened, and it's a good idea to become aware of it. So in that process, I went back and reestablished the Dharma Center in Omaha about 3 years ago. And so we're there, and we're going to build a much bigger center. It's going to be a big pyramid, and it's going to have a food kitchen and lots of food bank relationships throughout Omaha, and then spreading out and like a center of a hub throughout the United States. Every single corner of the United States, I will work and serve and do my best to make sure the proper governing of the United States is done properly.
Well, and in Omaha, it definitely is kind of that center location where you really can kind of have that ripple effect out throughout the United States. So,
yep.
So tell us about the Soul Therapy Center. I mean, that's you've got the food program, but I've been to the Soul Therapy Center here in Omaha. Absolutely love it. Have bought in some amazing jewelry and done a lot of the therapies there. But why don't you kind of give an explanation about what it is?
Sure. Yeah. There's a lot of people that have seen the movie Little Buddha, and that's based on the reincarnation of Buddha in America, a very rare incident, and that's based on me. So I went back to Tibetan Buddhism and began being the teacher of Buddhism, of a whole new level, a whole new line of Buddhism. And I established soul therapy, because in Buddhism, they said, nah, we don't have a soul, and probably there's not even a God, and I'm going to straighten you out on that. There's definitely a God, and we do have a soul. So we're going to start from there. We're going to do soul therapy. So I created meditation that no one, no Dalai Lama, no Buddhist masters are involved in this. This is directly from me as a blessing through sacred geomancy. And I do pujas and put them on a CD. And all these Tibetan masters all throughout Tibet, listen to them, use my tools, and have advanced themselves dramatically. So then I brought that to America and established soul therapy in America. And that's what the Dharma Center has, is the same soul therapy that's done at the highest level of Tibetan Buddhism, established by me.
Well, and I will let our viewers know, especially those that are here in Omaha, the center is located, it's 130th and Center Street. And again, I've been there several times, and there's just a lot
Beautiful.
of, first, yeah, it's a beautiful place. It's very peaceful inside, especially in the hectic and chaotic world sometimes that we feel is surrounding us. And it's just, it's a beautiful space to be in. And that, I think, kind of segues into you're going to be here in Omaha. It's called the Christ World Peace Tour, that first weekend in June. And so what is that all about?
Well, this is a year that I have to go back to Tibet and do a world teaching. I do that about every 3 to 4 years. Usually I go with Tibetans, masters, and they do sand paintings and ceremonies and all kinds of stuff. This time I'm going and then traveling all the way through Europe and on into Nepal, and we'll establish the teaching process there as creating a new world of healing, where many, many masters have been using soul therapy for quite a while. And they've learned how to use the weavers to project their healing at a distance, at very far distances, and have major effects. And we could heal the nations. We could heal Putin. We could heal anywhere in the world and all people. So we're going to begin doing that. We're going to take that responsibility and begin focusing on names, structures, and locations, and begin healing the planet for this year, next year, the year after that. It will begin as of this coming July.
So your time here in Omaha, it's June 3rd and 4th. Is that correct?
That's right.
And it's being held at the Healing Arts Center down in the Old Market, which is a beautiful space in itself as well. But what can people expect? I mean, explain a little bit about it. I've got a sheet here, but do people come for the full 2 days? Can they come and go? Are there different classes and teachings or meditations? Tell us a little bit about that time.
Yeah, usually it's kind of an event where the monks and nuns are there with all the tools and my pujas, and people can do soul therapy. It's all a personal thing. They have that experience. And they get to know that I exist and I'm the one doing this and all that. And then I come for 1 day and I give a meditation, which lasts for about an hour and a half. And then on the next day, I give a 4-hour teaching, and that's called a darshan. And that's much more direct. It's about the relationships that we have in this world, the people that are incarnated in this world, and why is it that Jesus Christ is in the world, but where is the Antichrist? Is there such a being? And I actually do have the location of the Antichrist. I know the name, location, and we are in process of developing healing around that process. And the world's going to be very interested to find out just exactly what is the real reality of our spiritual world. It's not about Christianity or Muslims and this and that. It's about forces of evil and good. And there are Jesus Christ and there is the Antichrist. And so that's what I'm going to be teaching about.
So I'm looking at the flyer while I'm talking to you as well. I'm going to go through this a little bit. So on Saturday the 4th, there's a free meditation and teaching by you from 4 to 6 p.m. And then Sunday the 5th it's an all day. And I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing this correctly. Is it darshan? Did I say? Okay.
Yep. Darshan.
Darshan. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this honestly looks fascinating. And there's also a virtual online offering for people who can't get there. And I love that you are offering that, because not everybody is out and about. And also, I mean, if you don't live in Omaha, you can attend.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime I do a teaching, I make it available online so
Okay.
people can watch it anywhere in the world. And then it's recorded so they can watch it later at any time. So I try and make my teachings available, but I like to now, because I'm not so involved in the reality of taking care of Tibet and all the things that I had to do. I'm more involved in the reality of the Antichrist because he has surfaced and he is deeply involved in his work. So it's a good time for me to step out and point this out and help people.
Sure. Well, there's lots of information. I know we've got a website across the bottom of the screen. I do want to go back to the food center and feeding the needy in Omaha, because I'm looking here, you have a profile again, and people want to know, how can they give? I mean, what can people do to support this effort, the efforts that you're doing here in Omaha?
We have a website, Shambhala Healing Tools. Yeah. And on that is all the tools and everything, but there's also a donation point where you can donate for the food program, or you could donate right there at the Dharma Center. And we definitely would very much appreciate it, because we're opening up a center. We're opening up a kitchen and getting food trucks and things like that. So whether or not anybody helps to do this, it's going to happen,
Sure.
So that's just what I do.
No, absolutely. I mean, and I love it, because I mean, things need to happen, and
they're going to happen. Trust me.
For sure. And okay. And we might have to come back at a later time to have a.
Well, you can count on that. You can count on that. I usually come back every 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Wonderful. Again, there is a wish list too, so people obviously can donate financially. And again, I'm talking about the Omaha, feeding the needy in Omaha. Yeah. But also, I'm just looking at their wish list. I mean, people can donate sleeping bags and tents and winter wear, or we're not in the
and good stuff, not used stuff.
Yeah,
good stuff. Everything
yeah.
I give to everybody, I choose the best shoes, I choose the best gloves, I choose the best jacket. Even if it costs more, that person's going to appreciate that for a long time. The heart is everything. Everything is about the heart.
Absolutely. Well, we have about 1 minute left. Mm-hmm. So what would you like to say in this last minute? And again, I'll look forward to having you on again, but I'll give you a minute for some final words.
Anytime you want me back, I'll be back. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so thanks anybody and everybody who's listening to this. And if you're going to come to the Omaha Dharma Center and receive my teachings or receive the healings and everything, I thank you very much. Your blessings is included in the process of the healing that I give you, because I awaken the soul so that you could heal other people and we could heal the nations. We can heal the world. We're going to do this together.
All right. Well, thank you, Buddha Maitreya. Sorry.
You got it.
For joining me today. I appreciate your time. And again, look forward to having you back. And I may or may not be in town when you're here, but if I am, I will definitely make it down to the Omaha Healing Arts Center in the Old Market. So again, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
And folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, hello, everyone. I am here with one of my favorite people I've known for decades. It's so hard to believe. My goodness. Gordon Krentz. He is the director of special events at the Nebraska Humane Society. Gordon, it's so good to see you, and thanks for joining me today.
It is great to see you as well. I always look forward to these, and somehow we're never short on words during these things.
No, not at all. Well, excited to say it's the Black Tie and Tails year, every
Yep.
other year event, and it's looking to be live again.
Yes, and do you know when the first one was?
1991,
94.
94.
We are celebrating 30 years this year.
Are you really? Okay. I mean, I was at that first one.
Friends Forever is celebrating 30 years, but the first Black Tie and Tails was 1994.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
okay.
and here's another little tidbit. Let's
Sure.
go off track for a second. So, who was the first Friends Forever Founders Award winner in 1996?
Was that me?
Yes, it was.
I remember that. It was at Happy Hollow. I remember
Yeah.
that.
That was great. I mean, I wasn't there, but you have done a lot for this shelter. So I just wanted to make sure to remind you that you are an award winner here. So
Well, thank you, Gordon. And yeah, I've always, from the very beginning. I mean, Metro 30 years, Friends Forever 30 years. I
Yeah.
mean, it's happening kind of simultaneously. So
Great.
wow. Well, Black Tie and Tails happening June 10th. Like we said, it's live again. It's the last time it was live was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, 2018 down at the
Yeah.
Marriott downtown.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. What is it for starters?
Well, it's an event that happens every other year. So in the even years. And this year it happens on June 10th, Friday, June 10th. And it's going to be at a View West Shores, which is out in Waterloo. It's a beautiful brand new venue that looks out over the lake out there.
Nice.
Lots and lots of parking, great food. A catered affair does all the food. And the staff at the View is amazing. So we're really excited to do that. And Doug Buchanan with Wren's Display has designed the stage for us. So that is going to be amazing. We are currently at 350 people and we still have a month out. So we're aiming for 600 people.
Okay.
And, we're just thrilled. And the event will be from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And it doesn't go much past that because we have some very special guests with us from the shelter. So we have to make sure we get them back to the shelter in time.
Well, are you doing, okay, now, I know this has changed over the years. I mean, I remember way back when we used to do like a big old fashion show.
Oh, yeah.
Are you still doing that, or is it something a little different?
We have not done that.
Okay.
That is while it was fun to do, backstage was a lot of coordination and logistics because we had a lot of animals that were privately owned.
Yes.
There for the evening that were there on stage for about 30 or 45 seconds. But we had to have them there for 2 hours. So we had teams of volunteers and kennels and everything. So just to make it less stressful on everyone, we kind of forewent that.
Yeah.
And what we have done is we highlight animals from the shelter that have benefited from our services. And then of course we end the night with a very special evening portion of the evening, and it's called Pet a Puppy. And that's always the highlight of the evening. In fact, we end the show before that happens because once we bring puppies out, we lose control. It's just pandemonium.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's a fun way to end an
Yes.
evening. So.
No, absolutely. Well, let's talk about the shelter animals, and let's just talk about some of the services that you provide, and also because of what this event, I mean, this is raising funds, obviously, for the Nebraska Humane Center. You're big fundraiser, so.
And this goes into our critical care fund, which for us is really important because it ensures that every animal that comes in here will get the care that it needs, whether it's medical, tender loving care with foster families, or it gets to go into a special program to make sure that it can be adopted. Because some animals come in and they're very stressed, and it's a very, tough time for them here. But we can take the time with our staff to make sure that these animals are ready to go into the home. But this program also covers so many other things at the shelter that people really don't know about. We have horses that we care for. We have guinea pigs, rabbits, reptiles, birds. I mean, we're all over the board here because we're an open entry shelter. And this fundraiser is so incredibly important.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, I know there's lots of great information on your website, Nebraska or nehumanesociety.org, which I'm looking at right now. This is a wonderful event. It's one of my favorite events.
It's very heartfelt.
Yeah,
Not that many events are. I'm not saying that.
sure.
But when we have two animals in particular this year that we will be highlighting. One that was extremely obese when it came to the shelter, and through our care and program and fostering has slimmed down to over 40 pounds less. And then we have a dog that was emaciated and thought was dead, and she will be highlighted as well.
Wow. Could you kind of go from one,
Exactly.
from one extreme,
Right.
and then bringing them together so that they're
Right.
healthy and adoptable?
Yeah. So I do have to mention, Friends Forever puts this on, and this is an amazing support guild that started in 1992, I think. And I think Judy Olson was our first president.
Yes.
at that time.
Yes.
And through their vision, they knew that the shelter could benefit through the support of the community. And so they put this guild together, and it has thrived for 30 years. And it is an amazing guild. And I don't know there are a lot of guilds in town, but this one has really flourished. And I'm very proud of the work they do. And this year, our chairs are Lee Brissette and Taylor Cochran. And they are on the guild with Friends Forever. And they are amazing. They have an amazing energy, and they want it to succeed. And it's infectious when you're around them because they want it to be so good. And then we're very fortunate this year that our honorary chairs are Deb and Bruce Grucock.
Wow.
And they have been so passionate about the shelter, and they've been involved since 1999 or before. And
Yes.
their entire family has been so supportive. So we're very fortunate this year that all the planets lined up, that we have this energy that it's going to be successful, and the animals will be the winners here and they'll benefit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the shelter itself. And
Okay.
I know one of the things that I know this time of year is kitten season,
Kitten
and
season.
lots of kittens are being born. So what should people do if they find kittens? Or let's just tell me. Yeah.
Well, we know that kitten season is usually the spring, so we'll be inundated with litters of kittens.
Right.
Whether they are found or people have a litter that just happens in their home. And so they bring them to the shelter. And what we do here is through our foster program, we give these young little beating hearts to foster families. And they take them in until they are at least 9 weeks old, 8 to 9 weeks old, and that they are at least 1.5 pounds, so that we can make sure that they're healthy and they can be adopted. And of course, we spay and neuter at a very young age here. Obviously, overpopulation is the reason we're in business. So if we can, nip that's the perfect thing. So foster care is an amazing part of what we do here.
Yep.
And the kittens, the families that take these kittens, we provide everything. So what we can't provide is the tender, loving care in a quiet and loving household.
Right.
We just can't do that 24/7 here at the shelter, but families that want to help can do it. And I think the foster families, it's a sense of accomplishment for them. And I think too, sometimes it's difficult to give up those little beating hearts because they become very attached. So I am in awe of foster families. They are amazing. So it's a season that we know is coming. We prepare for it.
Yeah.
And in fact, we just did a few weeks ago, we did a drive for milk simulator because we know we're going to need it. So, and that was very successful. So we feel like we're ready. We just hope that there's not a record number this year of anyway. But, and if people want to be a foster family, it's on our website, and I think you have that link. So.
Yeah. Well, like always, there's never enough time to have a conversation with you, but you are open. People can come in and look at animals.
Yes, we're open usually to the public to see the animals from 12 to 7. but adoptions stop at 6 because
Okay.
we want to make sure of that. But for business, we're open at 9.
Yeah. And again, I think we have one of the best or the best Nebraska humane humane societies in the country. It's first of all beautiful. It's inviting, the care you provide. I mean, it's just it's outstanding.
Yeah, and it was just recently renovated, and it is part, and it has definitely done its job because we have brought cats to the forefront, which I know you can appreciate, because the studies show that sometimes people come in just to see the dog, but we have the cats front and center, and it has truly made a difference.
It is amazing, and it's on 8929 Fort Street.
Yep.
Again, a beautiful facility. Okay, Black Tie and Tails, be sure to head to the website.
Buy tickets.
And buy tickets. And I'm I have not been out to this new location, so
It's
new
beautiful.
venue.
Lots of parking. It's going to be a beautiful sunset. And people that live at West Shores can actually drive their boat over and park on the dock and come up to the park.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's good.
Well, how wonderful. Well, Gordon, it's so good to see you, and thank you for all you do for the animals. And again, this is one of my favorite events. So encourage everybody to buy a ticket and come out, support the Nebraska Humane Society and all the wonderful animals that they
Absolutely.
So
Andy, thank you so much.
you're welcome. All right, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.